Welcome to Limitless Vision, where faith meets purpose. Today's powerful message, inspired by Bishop T.D. Jakes' themes, reveals why God may be preparing you. There are seasons in your life when everything seems to be falling apart. The plans you made are no longer working. The people you trusted are walking away. The doors you expected to open are suddenly closing. The opportunities you prayed for seem to disappear. And somewhere in the middle of all that uncertainty, you begin asking a question. God, why is this happening to me? But what if you have been asking the wrong question? What if the season that looks like destruction is actually preparation? What if the thing you call breaking is the very thing God is using to build you? What if the loss is making room? What if the rejection is redirecting you? What if the delay is developing you? And what if the pressure you are experiencing right now is not proof that God has forgotten you, but evidence that you are being prepared for something greater? Sometimes God has to break what is comfortable before he can build what is purposeful. Sometimes he has to remove what you have become attached to, because what you are attached to cannot travel with you into your destiny. You keep asking God to bless your future while holding tightly to the habits, relationships, environments, fears, and mindsets that belong to your past. You cannot walk into a new season while continuously protecting an old version of yourself. There comes a moment when God begins to shake things, not because he hates you, not because he wants to destroy you, but because he sees what you cannot yet see. He sees the person you are becoming. He sees the purpose inside you. He sees the doors you have not reached. He sees the influence you have not yet carried. He sees the strength that has not yet been developed. And sometimes the only way to prepare you for what is ahead is to allow what is behind you to fall apart. You may not understand the process while you are inside it. But just because you do not understand, it does not mean God is not working. Think about a seed. A seed looks insignificant. It is small. It is buried. It is covered in darkness. And from the outside, it appears that nothing is happening. But beneath the soil, something is taking place. The seed is breaking. The outer shell has to split. The old structure has to give way. And only then can new life begin to emerge. The breaking is not the end of the seed. The breaking is part of its becoming. And perhaps that is where you are right now. You are in the soil. You are in the dark. You are uncomfortable. You cannot see what is happening. You cannot understand why things changed. But heaven has not forgotten your name. Your season of darkness does not mean your story has ended. Sometimes God does his deepest work where nobody can see it. You want the fruit, but God is working on the roots. You want the promotion, but God is working on your character. You want the platform, but God is working on your discipline. You want the blessing, but God is working on your capacity to carry it, because receiving a blessing is one thing. Having the character to sustain that blessing is another. Many people pray for bigger opportunities, but they never pray for bigger capacity. They ask for more money, but not more wisdom. They ask for greater influence, but not greater integrity. They ask for open doors, but not stronger character. They ask God to increase their territory, but forget to ask him to increase their maturity. And sometimes the waiting season exists because God loves you too much to give you something you are not prepared to handle. You think you are being delayed. God may be developing you. You think nothing is happening. God may be building something underneath the surface. You think the door is closed. God may be protecting you from entering a room before you are ready. You think the relationship ended because you were not enough. Maybe it ended because it was never designed to go where you are going. You think the opportunity disappeared because you failed. Maybe it disappeared because something better requires a different version of you. There are moments when you have to stop crying over what God is removing. There are things you beg God to keep that he knew you needed to release. You cannot always see what God sees. That is why faith is necessary. Faith is trusting God when the evidence around you seems confusing. Faith is continuing when you cannot see the next step. Faith is believing that your current chapter is not the entire book. You may be experiencing a chapter of pain, but pain is not your entire story. You may be experiencing rejection, but rejection is not your identity. You may be experiencing failure, but failure is not your destiny. You may be experiencing loneliness, but loneliness does not mean you are abandoned. You may be experiencing uncertainty, but uncertainty does not mean there is no purpose. Sometimes the greatest transformation begins when you finally admit, I cannot control this. That statement can feel frightening, but it can also become liberating because you were never designed to control everything. You are responsible for your obedience. You are responsible for your attitude. You are responsible for your choices. You are responsible for your preparation. But there are things you have to place in God's hands. And when you release what you cannot control, you create room to focus on what you can. You cannot control who leaves, but you can control how you respond. You cannot control every rejection, but you can control whether rejection makes you bitter or better. You cannot control every delay, but you can control what you do while you wait. You cannot control what someone says about you, but you can control whether you allow their words to define you. You cannot control yesterday, but you can decide what you do today. And that is where your power begins. Stop allowing yesterday's pain to become tomorrow's prison. There are people who have been hurt so badly that they have built an identity around their wounds. They introduce themselves through what happened to them. They live through old disappointments. They carry conversations from 10 years ago into today's relationships. They allow one betrayal to make them suspicious of everybody. One failure makes them afraid to try again. One rejection makes them afraid to love again. One mistake makes them afraid to dream again. But your past may explain you, yet it does not have to imprison you. You have to understand that healing is not pretending the pain never happened. Healing is refusing to let the pain control what happens next. You can acknowledge what broke you without allowing it to define you. You can say, yes, I was hurt. But then you must also say, I will not stay there. You can say, yes, I lost something. But then you must say, I will not lose myself. You can say, yes, they rejected me. But then you must say, their rejection does not cancel God's purpose for me. Your destiny is bigger than somebody's opinion. Your future is bigger than your current circumstances. Your purpose is bigger than your present pain. But you have to keep moving. There is a danger in becoming comfortable with the broken place. At first you cry because you are hurt. Then eventually you become familiar with the pain. And after enough time, familiar pain begins to feel safer than unfamiliar possibility. You begin saying, at least I know what this feels like. But faith calls you beyond familiarity. There is something dangerous about choosing a familiar prison over an unfamiliar promise. You have to be willing to step forward even when you are afraid. You have to be willing to rebuild. You have to be willing to start again. Starting again does not mean you failed. Sometimes starting again means you have finally learned enough to build differently. Do not be ashamed of beginning again. Some of the greatest stories are built from second beginnings. You are not too old. You are not too late. You have not missed everything. Your life is not over because one chapter did not go according to plan. Sometimes God allows the old plan to collapse because he has a better purpose. And when the old structure falls, it can feel like everything has been lost. But sometimes you have not lost everything. Sometimes you have lost what was holding you back. There is a difference. The relationship may have ended. The business may have failed. The job may have disappeared. The dream may have changed. The plan may have collapsed. But you are still here. You still have breath. You still have choices. You still have potential. You still have a future. You still have an opportunity to become who you were created to be. So do not spend the rest of your life staring at the ashes. Build again. Get up, pray again. Dream again. Learn again. Pray again. Believe again. Because your story is not finished. Sometimes God breaks your dependence on people so you can discover your dependence on Him. You thought you needed everyone to approve of you. Then suddenly you entered a season where nobody understood you, and at first it hurt. But eventually you learned that purpose often requires the courage to stand alone. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone will celebrate your growth. Not everyone will recognize what God is doing in you. And that is okay. You do not need everybody to understand what God has assigned to you. You need obedience. You need courage. You need patience. You need faith. You need discipline. And you need the willingness to keep walking when applause disappears. There will be seasons when nobody claps. Work anyway. There will be seasons when nobody notices. Grow anyway. There will be seasons when nobody encourages you. Encourage yourself. There will be seasons when your prayers seem unanswered. Keep praying. There will be seasons when your progress is invisible. Keep moving, because not every important thing happens publicly. Roots grow privately. Character develops privately. Wisdom develops privately. Faith develops privately. Strength develops privately. And sometimes your greatest preparation happens in places where nobody knows your name. David did not become strong in front of the crowd. He learned courage in the field. He faced battles before people knew his name. He developed confidence before he stood before giants. That is how preparation works. Before the public victory, there is often a private battle. Before the visible blessing, there is often invisible development. Before the opportunity, there is often preparation. So stop despising your hidden season. Your hidden season may be preparing you for a visible assignment. Maybe you are wondering why nobody recognizes you. Maybe you are wondering why your work is overlooked. Maybe you are wondering why someone else received the opportunity you wanted. Do not become distracted by somebody else's timing. Their chapter is not your chapter. Their journey is not your journey. Their blessing does not cancel yours. You do not need to compete with people when God has given you your own assignment. Stay focused, stay humble, stay prepared, because when your door opens, you do not want to spend the opportunity wishing you had prepared for it. You want to walk through that door ready. And sometimes preparation hurts. Discipline hurts. Growth hurts. Champ hurts. Letting go hurts. Forgiveness hurts. Starting over hurts. But temporary discomfort can produce permanent transformation. You have to learn the difference between pain that destroys you and pain that develops you. Some pain is a warning. Some pain is a lesson. Some pain is a transition. Some pain is the cost of growth. The key is learning what the season is teaching you. Do not waste your pain. If you suffered, learn. If you failed, learn. If you were rejected, learn. If you lost money, learn. If you trusted the wrong person, learn. If you made a mistake, learn. Do not walk out of a painful season with nothing except pain. Take wisdom with you. Take maturity with you. Take discernment with you. Take strength with you. Take faith with you. Then your suffering will not have the final word. Your transformation will. And maybe that is what God is doing right now. He is taking the thing that was supposed to destroy you and using it to develop you. He is teaching you patience. He is teaching you discernment. He is teaching you resilience. He is teaching you how to stand without applause. He is teaching you how to trust without seeing. He is teaching you how to move without having every answer. And when you finally reach the place you prayed for, you will understand why you had to become stronger first. You will look back and realize that season did not destroy me. It developed me. That rejection did not end me, it redirected me. That delay did not bury me, it prepared me. That loss did not erase my future. It created room for something new. That breaking was not the end. It was the beginning of becoming. So if you are in a difficult season right now, breathe. Do not make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Do not quit because today is hard. Do not abandon your dream because the process is uncomfortable. Do not assume that silence means absence. Sometimes silence is where faith becomes strongest. Sometimes you have to walk without confirmation. Sometimes you have to keep going without knowing exactly how it will work out. And that is where trust becomes real. Anyone can believe when everything is easy. Real faith is believing when the road is uncertain. Real faith is saying, I don't know how this will work, but I know I will keep moving. I don't understand why this happened, but I will not allow it to destroy me. I cannot see the next chapter, but I refuse to believe the story is over. That is courage. That is resilience. That is faith. And perhaps today you need to stop asking God to remove every difficult thing and start asking, Lord, what are you developing in me through this? That question can change everything. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what can I learn? Instead of asking, why did they leave? Ask, what did this teach me? Instead of asking, why did the door close? Ask, where are you leading me next? Instead of asking, why is this taking so long? Ask, who am I becoming while I wait? Because sometimes the greatest miracle is not what changes around you. It is what changes inside you. You become calmer. You become wiser. You become stronger. You become more discerning. You become less desperate for approval. You become more secure in your identity. You stop chasing people. You stop begging for opportunities. You stop forcing doors. You stop trying to prove yourself. You start trusting your preparation. You start understanding that what belongs to you does not require you to destroy yourself to obtain it. And when you reach that level of maturity, you begin to understand something powerful. God does not have to explain every step for you to obey the next one. You only need enough light for the next step. Take the step, then take another, then another. Eventually, you will look back and realize that every small step was moving you somewhere. Your life may not change overnight, but your direction can change today. Your mindset can change today. Your habits can change today. Your attitude can change today. Your prayer life can change today. Your discipline can change today. And when small changes become daily decisions become habits. And habits begin shaping your future. Do not underestimate small obedience. Do not underestimate one decision. Do not underestimate one prayer. Do not underestimate one conversation. Do not underestimate one opportunity. Do not underestimate one day. Your destiny is not built only in dramatic moments. It is built through ordinary days when you choose to keep going. You wake up, you pray. You work, you learn, you serve, you improve, you forgive, you try again, and you repeat. That is how transformation happens. You may be waiting for a dramatic miracle while God is asking you to practice daily discipline. You may be waiting for a supernatural opportunity while God is telling you to prepare. You may be waiting for someone to rescue you while God is teaching you responsibility. Sometimes the blessing is hidden inside the instruction. Do what you know to do. Take care of what is in your hands. Be faithful with what you have. Stop worrying about what you do not have. You cannot build tomorrow by constantly complaining about today. Use today, use your time, use your gifts, use your experiences, use your pain, use your lessons, use your voice, use your story. Someone may eventually need the wisdom you gained from the season you are currently trying to escape. That is why you must survive it with purpose. There is somebody who will someday be encouraged by the fact that you did not quit. There is somebody who will need your testimony. There is somebody who will need to hear that you struggled and still kept believing. There is somebody who will need to know that failure did not finish you. Your survival can become somebody else's hope. So keep going. Even if you have to go slowly, even if you have to cry while moving, even if you have to rebuild one brick at a time, keep going. The enemy of progress is often the belief that if you cannot do everything, you should do nothing. Reject that mindset. Do something. One step, one decision, one prayer, one phone call, one application, one page, one workout, 1 hour of study, one honest conversation, one act of courage. Small steps matter, and over time, small steps become distance. You do not need to have the entire future figured out. You need to be faithful with the next step. And perhaps your next step is forgiveness. Perhaps your next step is letting go. Perhaps your next step is discipline. Perhaps your next step is starting. Perhaps your next step is stopping. Perhaps your next step is resting. Perhaps your next step is believing again. Whatever it is, do it with courage, because God cannot guide a person who refuses to move. You can pray for direction, but eventually you must walk. You can pray for opportunity, but eventually you must prepare. You can pray for change, but eventually you must participate in it. Faith is not passivity. Faith moves. Faith acts. Faith obeys. Faith keeps walking. And when you keep walking, something happens. Your confidence grows, your perspective changes, your fear becomes smaller, your strength becomes greater. And eventually you realize that you are not the same person who entered the valley. The valley changed you, the storm changed you, the waiting changed you, the disappointment changed you, the breaking changed you, but it did not have to destroy you. It can refine you, it can deepen you. It can prepare you. It can make you more compassionate. It can make you more discerning. It can make you stronger. It can make you wiser. And one day you may stand in a place you once prayed for and realize, I would not have been ready for this version of my life without that difficult season. Then you will understand the breaking was not punishment. The breaking was preparation. The pruning was not rejection. The pruning was refinement. The waiting was not abandonment. The waiting was development. The closed door was not necessarily failure. It may have been protection. The ending was not necessarily destruction. It may have been an invitation to begin again. So if God is breaking something in your life right now, do not immediately assume that everything is going wrong. Ask what is being removed. Ask what is being built. Ask what is being developed. Ask what is being prepared. Ask what you are supposed to learn. Because sometimes God has to break your dependence on what is temporary so you can discover what is eternal. Sometimes he has to break your pride so you can learn humility. He may have to break your impatience so you can learn endurance. He may have to break your fear so you can learn courage. He may have to break your need for approval so you can learn identity. He may have to break your attachment to the past so you can embrace the future. And when that process hurts, remember, a broken shell can be the beginning of new life. A broken ground can receive a seed. A broken heart can become compassionate. A broken dream can become a better vision. A broken plan can lead to a better purpose. You are not finished. You are being formed. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. You are not abandoned. You are being strengthened. You are not without purpose. You are still becoming. So lift your head, take a breath, dry your tears, stand up again. There is still purpose in your life. There are still chapters unwritten. There are still opportunities ahead. There are still prayers that may be answered in ways you cannot imagine. There is still growth available to you. There is still work to do. And there is still a future waiting for the person you are becoming. Do not allow a painful season to convince you that your life has no beautiful seasons left. Winter does not cancel spring. A storm does not cancel sunshine. A valley does not cancel the mountain. A delay does not cancel destiny. And a breaking does not mean you are being destroyed. Sometimes you are being prepared to carry something greater. So trust the process. Trust God. Trust the lessons. Trust Trust the growth and keep moving, because one day you may look back at the season that almost broke you and realize it was the season that built you. The tears taught you, the waiting strengthened you. The rejection redirected you. The loss refined you. The solitude matured you. The pressure developed you. And the breaking prepared you for the blessing. Your current pain is not your final destination. Your current struggle is not your identity. Your current circumstances are not the complete definition of your future. Keep your faith. Keep your discipline. Keep your heart open. Keep your vision alive. Keep becoming, because the God who allowed you to enter the process is not finished with you in the process. And when the time is right, you will understand why some things had to leave. You will understand why some doors had to close. You will understand why some seasons had to end. You will understand why some relationships could not continue. You will understand why some dreams had to change. You will understand why you had to become stronger. And when you finally see it, you will not be angry about the breaking. You will be grateful for what it produced. So today, make a decision. I will not quit. I will not live in yesterday. I will not allow rejection to define me. I will not allow fear to control me. I will not allow delay to discourage me. I will not allow disappointment to destroy my faith. I will keep moving. I will keep learning. I will keep praying. I will keep growing. I will keep believing. And I will trust that my story is still being written. Your destiny does not require you to understand every chapter. It requires you to remain faithful while the story unfolds. So walk forward even when you are afraid. Walk forward even when you are tired. Walk forward even when nobody applauds. Walk forward even when you cannot see the outcome. Walk forward. Because sometimes the greatest blessing is waiting on the other side of the thing you thought would destroy you. And perhaps this is your reminder today. You are not being broken for nothing. You are being prepared. You are being refined. You are being strengthened. You are being positioned. You are becoming capable of carrying what you once only prayed for. Do not despise the process. Do not waste the season. Do not run from the lesson. Let the experience develop you. Let the pain teach you. Let the waiting strengthen you. Let the faith anchor you. And when the next door opens, walk through it as the person this season created, not the person you used to be, the wiser you, the stronger you, the more disciplined you, the more faithful you, the more courageous you, the more purposeful you. Because sometimes God does not change your circumstances first. Sometimes he changes you first. And when you change, you become ready for the circumstances you prayed for. So if you are being broken right now, remember this. The breaking may be making room. The pressure may be producing strength. The delay may be producing maturity. The ending may be creating a beginning. And the season that feels like your lowest point may eventually become the testimony that reminds you just how far you have come. Do not give up now. You have survived too much to surrender at the doorway of your next chapter. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your heart faithful. Keep your hands working. Keep your spirit hopeful. And keep believing that there is purpose even here, because your story is not over. Your destiny is not canceled. Your future is not finished. You are still becoming. And sometimes, before God blesses the destiny within you, he has to break the limitations around you. So let him do the work. Trust the process. Embrace the growth and rise again. This is not the end of you. This is the making of you. Thank you for spending this time with Limitless Vision. If this message spoke to your heart, carry it with you. Share it with someone who needs encouragement. And remember, your breaking can become the beginning of your greatest becoming. Thank you for listening, and may your faith, purpose, and vision continue to grow.